My name is Marcie. I grew up out east. I'm originally from Mexico City, but I grew up in Maryland. I have the joy of being a mother, a wife of almost 25 years. We have two beautiful young adult daughters. And then I'm also a special ed paraeducator. I really want to be seen, I want to be known, and I want to be loved. To be seen, to be known, and therefore to be rejected. So that is my greatest fear. So I was born with hip dysplasia, so I had a lot of surgeries as an infant and young child. That caused a lot of fear in my mother, so I grew up very sheltered. As a young adult, I turned to alcohol and food, especially sugar. I became an addict very quickly to sugar, but it was my drug of choice. So as I gained more and more weight, I found better, more creative ways to hide. As an adult, after I became a Christian, I hid in the church. I served well, but nobody knew who I was. It almost took my life. I had insomnia, panic attacks, anxiety. I was depressed. I was suicidal. And God still met me there. He still was gracious and kind. But over the course of 6 years, my marriage deteriorated. Medication, finding the right dosage was horrible. It didn't solve everything like I thought it would. I had to lose almost everything before I realized that Christ was always by my side. God saw me at each step, and He was just waiting for me to turn to Him instead of away from Him. But I just didn't know where to go. Then one day, scrolling through Facebook of all places, an acquaintance of mine posted something about the House of Hope. For months, I would troll the website. I was just so curious in all the services that were offered, but I was not brave enough until I saw a posting for a class for victims of sexual abuse. But I knew that I had to step out. I had to do something. Something had to change. So I signed up for the class and I came out here one night. From the moment that I walked through the doors, there was a calm that just came over my heart that I'd never experienced before. And the space here is so beautiful. And there was only 4 of us in the class. And at first I was really nervous because with only 4 people, you can't hide. But the facilitator was so kind. She was so gentle. She waited week after week before I finally opened my mouth. And I was able to tell her my story. I was at the end of myself when I became a resident here. But my wonderful counselor just took time week after week to hear me, to listen to me, to help me realize that I wasn't alone, that my story has value because I have value. I was able to take part in the class, The Ultimate Journey, which lies that I had been believing about myself were exposed. I was able to learn God's truth. And slowly I found this joy. My life is so different now. And I love that I can come here and feel safe. But I can also leave here and feel safe because the things that I've learned here don't stay here. I take them with me every day. And when I forget, I come back and I get refreshed through another class, through another counseling session. And I don't have to do this alone anymore. My marriage is on a better trajectory now because of the House of Hope. My husband and I, we see value in following God and His Word. We see value in spending time with one another and our family. It's precious, but the tools that I have now, they're not just for me. I'm now a facilitator because I'm confident in the things that I've learned and I can share them with others. How do you say thank you to volunteers and donors that came before me and spent time and money and prayers lifting this place up for me? I was cloaked in shame and burdened, but now I have joy, true peace. Mostly I was just hurting. And now I'm on a journey of healing.